If you're looking to start a business, California is likely the worst place to be, and in this video, we're going to talk about why. What? Founding a business is tough, and it's even tougher if the climate you're in isn't helpful. Strong headwinds aren't what a new entrepreneur needs. We need an environment and laws that help our companies get off the ground. Recently, Tesla CEO and serial entrepreneur Elon Musk announced he would be moving Tesla's headquarters from California to Texas. Why would he do that? Well, among the issues Musk cited were the company's need for additional space, expensive home prices in the Bay Area, and long commutes for workers. These are all quality of life issues that impact companies as well as the entrepreneurs. The plan is to move the company's headquarters to Austin, Texas, where Musk said, "Here in Austin, our factory is like 5 minutes from the airport, 15 minutes from downtown." Musk also said, "We're going to create an ecological paradise here along the Colorado River. It's going to be great. Try doing that in California with their real estate prices and congestions. I don't think it can happen." If you look at state rankings for the best states to do business, California is the absolute worst, and Texas is the best. There are 3 primary reasons why: tax policy, regulatory climate, and talent availability. High taxes in California take a lot of the blame. The Hoover Institution quotes the Tax Foundation for an explanation. If taxes take a larger portion of profits, that cost is passed along to consumers through the higher prices, employees through lower wages and fewer jobs, and shareholders through lower dividends and share value, or some combination of the above. Thus, a state with lower tax costs will be more attractive to business investment and more likely to experience economic growth. The report also says California is the most highly regulated state in the country. Having more than the average number of laws makes it difficult for businesses to become compliant with all the rules being enforced. There are 518 state agencies, boards, and commissions in California. Yeah. And finally, lack of available talent makes it nearly impossible to run a business in this state. I'm sure there's a lot of smart and great people in California, but most of them are probably employed at very high-paying jobs. What we need as entrepreneurs are highly talented people who are motivated to work hard, likely less than for market salaries, and give them some skin in the game via phantom stock or ears. Finding people ready to join a team like this in California, well, it's pretty tough these days. For all of these reasons, Elon chose to move Tesla's headquarters, and for us as entrepreneurs, we have a lot in common with that line of thinking. But there's also other factors that affect us as smaller companies more so. So let's talk about those now. Number 1, the franchise tax. If you're thinking of founding a business or a limited liability corporation in California, you need to know that the California Franchise Tax Board imposes a minimum franchise tax of $800 on every company that's incorporated in the state. While some other states do require companies paying an annual franchise tax, California's minimum $800 franchise fee, well, it's the highest in the nation. A California company must pay this tax whether it's active, inactive, even if it's losing money. Companies are required to pay within the first 4 months of the formation and year after year. Failure to pay the $800 tax, it results in company suspension as well as hefty fines. While other states do impose a franchise tax, California is the only state to have a minimum tax with a flat fee. Also, while other state franchise taxes are contingent on factors such as profits and revenue, California doesn't allow any exceptions concerning that. I myself have formed various countries in my home state of Minnesota. In Minnesota, it costs about $150 to form an LLC. And as long as you update the records timely each year with the Secretary of State, there's actually no cost. So if you compare Minnesota with California, even if you have $0 in sales, you have to spend $800 a year just to keep your business open on paper in California, where it's free in Minnesota. Number 2, limited LLC offerings. The days of standard limited liability companies are no more. Some states are setting up statutes that allow for a range of limited liability companies. One type of LLC is popular called a series LLC. This setup arises when a master limited liability company organizes a series of documents allowing for separate subunits or series that operate as independent LLCs. Although several states allow for series LLCs, California doesn't. Each series within an LLC might have a separate line of business purpose or distinct powers, duties, or allocation of the profits and losses. A series LLC has a flexible structure and allows for reduced administrative costs. The business structure lets entrepreneurs run several different operations under the framework of one LLC after filing only a single article of incorporation, as opposed to each one having their individual. Number 3, unanimous consent requirement. The California Revised Uniform Liability Act imposes a lot of new rules and regulations. Unless expressly stated otherwise in the LLC's operating agreement, the law requires members' unanimous consent for carrying out the following activities: selling, leasing, exchanging, or disposing of all LLC's property outside the ordinary course of business. This new law requires LLC managers and members to be a lot more meticulous when crafting their documents for their operating agreements. Otherwise, LLCs will be subject to many more requirements. Before the passage of the new act, unanimous member approval was required only for amendments to the Articles of Organization and to the operating agreement. While an operating agreement can override these rules, members and managers must be careful to ensure their own operating agreement has been properly written. If not, they run the risk of having the company subject to a number of new regulations. Entrepreneurs thinking of forming an LLC in California, well, they're going to need help from an experienced California attorney to write their operating agreement. Number 4, the cost of living in California. According to the 2020 Cost of Living Index, the average city in California has a 38% higher cost of living than the average city in the nation. Median home prices in California are more than $800,000. That's more than double the national median of $375,000. Meanwhile, the median monthly rent for an apartment is almost $2,800 in California. That's 69% higher than the national median of $1,650. High fixed costs make starting a business difficult, and California has high costs for nearly everything. When starting a company, funds are scarce and every dollar counts. If you're going to be spending more money just to keep the lights on for your business, that's going to give you less chance of success for your company. Okay, you've heard enough reasons why California isn't a great place to start a business. I realize we got a little negative in this video, but I do want to highlight a very positive thing about California: venture capital. If your business is a new idea looking for investors who have big bank accounts and not afraid of ideas, California is the place to be. Mark Zuckerberg didn't drop out of Harvard and move to Texas to find investors. He went to California. The state was and still is a leader in high-risk venture capital investing. But for those of us who are running a more traditional business, California is definitely not the best place to be starting up. I hope you learned something good in this video and that will help you with your startup. If you like entrepreneurship videos, like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be the first to know when a new video drops. I'll see you in the next vid. Ciao!